Hey guys, Miss Osuna here. Let's get started by setting up our page. You know that we have 9 heads for our croquis poses, and we are going to create a pose where we have one leg crossed in front of the other, one hand on the hip, and the other hand is across the chest. All right, so let's follow along. For those of you doing this advanced pose, we are having the guideline for our shoulder uneven, and it's opposite from the waist. So we know that the shoulder guideline's at 1.5, left side higher, right side lower, and the opposite for the waist. We are turning our neck slightly facing the left, so that's a very subtle curve. Now from shoulder to waist, we're curving very hard on the left side, and it's flatter, but it still faces right on the right side. It's just not as strong. Measure that waist for 1 headspace and the shoulder for 1.5 headspaces wide. Put your bust in on the right side, slightly to the right of that torso, and then bring that parenthesis shape up to the shoulder. Round off that shoulder. Make sure you go below the shoulder guideline for that shoulder slope. S-L-O-P-E. Now we're going to do the curve for below the waist. So on the right side, this parenthesis faces left, a nice strong curve opposite the shoulder, and flatter curve on the left side. Drop in your guideline that's parallel to your waist. And you want to just measure to make sure you have about 1.5 headspaces wide for the hip. Same as the shoulder. Now put in your bikini bottoms, and then we'll move on. Draw in the center of the leg on the right side here. Cross over so that the toe is on the left side of our center line. And now we're drawing in the center of our leg on the left side of the sketch here. And that crosses over to the right side of the center line. Follow along as we pull in these parenthesis shapes for our legs and our toe. And now we're moving on to that upper body. Remembering always that we use our guidelines for the arms first. Then we can go back and measure specifically, but we do want some direction. So here's a directional guideline. We know that this arm is going to be bent at the elbow. Your socket is at your wrist. You can go back in and measure from shoulder to elbow and elbow to wrist if you'd like, and then place your hand in the same manner that we've done before. Diagonal lines, and then the J shape is at the fingertips. Now we're just moving on to the hand. Remember the same diagonal lines, and this is just a direction. It tells us where to go. You can change that if you need to later, and then add in those fingers. The W shape for the knuckles, and then the line segments for the beginnings of the fingers. This is just the beginnings, and you can always change it. Or if you like it, you can go back and flesh it out. Here are the series of smiles and frowns for the facial features. Literally smiles and frowns and parenthesis shapes. You've got this. And that's it for our advanced croquis pose with legs crossed and hand on hip, other hand on chest. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next video. Until then, be well and happy sketching.